Hello everyone, Cloud Snipe here, and welcome to another episode of Myths Monsters MLP. If you notice a slight echo today, it's because the main office is being painted, so we're out here in the living room currently using this room as a recording. A couple days ago, the Cloudbusters went to Canterlot on a research mission. So while Baral was researching the forest around Equestria and Aileron was researching medical herbs, I decided to research monsters of recent years. When I flipped open the book of cryptozoology, the entry I flipped open was on the Changelings and Queen Chrysalis, so I decided to read up on the human world version. What I found was quite interesting. In the human world, a changeling is a creature found in folklore and folk religion. A changeling is a fairy left in the place of a human child stolen by fairies. And believe it or not, the idea of children getting kidnapped by creatures is quite common in medieval legends and was actually believed to have been the excuse of early death and major sickness at a young age. You see, in the human world version, a changeling was a descendant of fairies, elf, or other legendary creatures, and has been left in the place of a human child. But, in other times, a changeling would occasionally be a stock or a fetish. No, not that fetish. A fetish in this term is an enchanted object used in rituals and other forms of the occult, often in the forms of charms and idols. As I was saying, a changeling would be a stock or a fetish enchanted to look like a human child, only to wither and die soon after being swapped. The places with known changeling legends are Cornwall, Germany, Ireland, the Isle of Man, lowland Scotland and northern England, Poland, Scandinavia, Spain, and Wales. Each area has different stories about them with different ways of acting and cures. But you may be asking, out of all those areas, which has a more comparable example to the ones in Equestria? Well, the answer is a bit complicated, because the powers the Changeling shows can be related to the Changeling in Wales version of the story, where in Wales, the Changeling child would initially resembles the human as substitute, but gradually grows uglier in appearance and behavior, ill-featured, malformed, ill-tempered, given to screaming and biting. It may be less than usual intelligence, but again is identified by its more than childlike wisdom and cunning. The changelings in the show seem to have a childlike demeanor to me, and with Queen Chrysalis she doesn't exactly turn ugly, but her attitude surely does. But I have a theory. You see, in the Wales version, it never says anything about them turning into adults or anything like that. But with the Queen being a unique changeling, I start to wonder, what if she isn't a changeling at all, but an alicorn, who was brought to the changelings as a unicorn and raised as a changeling? It wouldn't shock to me to think, what if, as a child, she learned how to use shapeshifting magic from them, and took the changeling shape that she has after originally pretending, or even believing she was a changeling, and in a similar way, an alicorn being created in a normal way, she became an alicorn with some changeling magic, turning her into an alicorn level changeling. It would also explain her shape-shifting magic is so strong. She can take the shape of an alicorn and maintain it for long periods of time with no adverse reactions. It would also explain how she was able to go hoof to cheese leg with Celestia and Cadence. Granted, we never got to see the fight with Cadence, but she was overtaken somehow. It makes me wonder, just what is a changeling's monarchy like anyway? I know it has a queen, but is there a king? Is the changeling army run like a dictatorship where the ruler of the military runs the government? Or do they act like insects where they take orders via pheromones? This requires more research. On that thought, I'll leave this video here. What do you think? What do you think the changelings rule by? Is it a dictatorship? Is it a monarchy? More importantly, is Queen Cheeselegs a long-lost unicorn child, believed to have perished at a young age when, in truth, she was raised by the changelings to be the next queen? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And subscribe. If you want to see more like this, jump down to the description below to fly over to our Tumblr Ask page to ask about the Cloudbusters' daily lives. And a massive thanks to my friends over at Brony Book, a small social page for bronies just to have fun and talk. Links to everything in the description, and as always, I'll see you in the skies, Busters.